Hi, and welcome to Old School Blues Guitar. It is time for the classic lick of the month for January through March 2018. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at a really different kind of lick than you might be used to playing electric blues guitar, unless you're more advanced, sophisticated, maybe play some jazz. And that is the octave lick. And in electric blues, there were a few guys that used this lick here and there, and normally not a lot, but just in certain songs. And one of these guys was Earl Hooker. And Earl Hooker has an instrumental called Off the Hook, which is really a classic. He does so much cool stuff in that tune. But my favorite, one of my favorite licks that he does in the tune is this octave thing that he plays. And he actually plays it as a solo verse. So the idea, let me just play it for you one time in context, and then we'll take it apart. So this is the whole thing. Not sure if that's exactly right, but it's pretty close. And the whole verse that he plays there is based on these octave licks. So let me just show you what I'm doing here. In the key of A, the basic octave, an octave is when you play two notes that are basically the same note but in different parts of the neck. So I've got an A on the 5th fret of the 6th string, and I've got an A on the 7th fret of the 4th string. And so he starts out bringing it from here. So it's really an F sharp, like that. And then he's going to go here, whoops, which is my first finger. So the F sharp is like this, same shape, just moved, where my first finger is on the 6th string, 2nd fret. So we got this. Then he's going to go to this, where I've got my first finger, and this is really an E, because I've got my first finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, which is an E, and then I've got my low string, my 6th string. So he's putting these all together, and he's got, then he walks back down or back up, goes to a B, so I move that same shape. And you can play around with these octaves and learn the different places you can play them and all the different stuff you can do. It's kind of a Wes Montgomery jazz type thing. I don't know much about Wes Montgomery, except I know he used octaves. I've got a few of his recordings. And it's a really cool thing you can throw in there. Too much of it is like too much of anything. But Earl Hooker, as far as I know, this is the only part of any solo that he recorded where he did this. Maybe there's another tune. But this was just perfect for this tune. So the whole sequence, let's start over. So we start here, and then we'll go back to the F sharp, back to that E. So we got this. And then he's going to do a little chord slide, which to me sounds like he's just sliding an A. Could be just a double stop, or it could be 3 fingers without the first string. So that's an A major chord, F shape. And then he's going to go back to this, the A, and then slide into what will be a D. I'm just taking that same shape and moving it over, so my first finger is now on the 5th fret of the 5th string. So that's a D. So he does something like this. Going from 1 fret below with that shape on the 5th string. And he's going to just walk up till he gets to what would be an E with my first finger on the 7th fret of the 5th string. So let's do everything we got so far for this lick. This is more of a verse, but it's so cool, and this individual octave licks, you can find different ways to throw those in. So this is an extended one, but I'm showing you this to show you all, how you can move this around and get lots of different things out of it. So let's start again. Now when I bring it back down, I'm starting here, and I'm skipping. This time I'm skipping the E flat position and going to the D. So it's E, D, D flat, C, and here he's going to stop and do this little, that's what I hear, just a little lick. This is in the A, first position. I'm going from the 5th fret of the 3rd string and trilling, or he does it maybe twice or just once. And then he goes to the 4th fret of the 4th string. And then he does something like this, where he's walking. It sounds to me like he's going from the 4th fret of the 4th string, 2nd fret of the 3rd string, 4th fret of the 3rd string. And he wraps up the verse. So let's do the whole thing slowly again. I'll try to go real slow on this. Gotta botch that. And there you have it. So the octaves there, I'm playing on the 6th and the 4th strings and the 5th and the 3rd string. And what you can do is play around and find all the different places where you can play. So I can play an A octave here. I can also play it here. And toy around with it. Maybe you can come up with some creative ideas of your own using the octaves. And it gives kind of a jazzy feel to your licks or your solos or whatever you want to use it for. So again, that is from the Earl Hooker tune called Off the Hook. He plays that solo verse toward the end of the song, and it's just one of many great solos, or different verses, solo verses he plays. It's an instrumental, so it's all solo verses. Hope you enjoyed that lesson. Check the tab, it'll be posted soon. And if you have any questions or comments, let me know, and I will be back again in a few months with another classic electric blues